So welcome to class on Friday. Today we're going to try and do a new activity that I'm going to explain here in just a moment. So looking at today's expectations, we're going to try and learn how to balance a chemical equation if we're given the chemical formulas. So our activities will be balancing equations, which is in Google Classroom. I'm going to put a movie right here. I'm making the movie now. And then after you're finished with that, work on missing work. So let's talk about missing work just for a minute before I get into the new thing. So in regard to things we've done this semester, at this point, we started with Formula Jam 1, and these are the formulas that you write. So when you click on these, it gives you a list of compounds, and then you do your work here. You can see 3 people have still not turned that in. Then we did Formula Jam 2, still missing 7 of you on that. After Formula Jam 2, you do formula writing, and I'm going to just take a moment to remind you about how to write formulas. So you pull up this little guy right here, and you have to consider that the nickel has a +2 charge, the iodine has a -1 charge. So if the nickel is 2 and the iodine's 1, then it's that particular formula. So you have to always reason out the charges. If you need periodic tables, have the charges on them. This is a periodic table. So the reason that I had to tell you that nickel, or that they had to tell you that nickel had a +2 charge, is because nickel can either be a 2 or a 3. Not sure why the periodic table is taking so long. There we go. So if you look at nickel right here, see it could be +2 or +3. And bromine, or iodide, it says here can be -1, +5, or +7. Look at it right here. When you're on this side of the periodic table, sometimes there's more than one charge listed. Go with the negative charge. So use the negative charges in that particular activity. Okay, after you do formula writing 1, we had this nomenclature crossword. And the nomenclature crossword has not been real popular yet, we can see. So that's something that could be done on Friday after the chemical equations assignment is done. And then chemical equations 1 is what I'm going to try and teach you about now. All right, so balancing chemical equations looks like this. The idea is that when you're writing a chemical reaction, the number of atoms on each side of the arrow has to be the same. That's the law of conservation of matter. So I'm going to run through the introduction and do an example real quick in the game, and then we'll take it from there. Now normally you don't have to do what I'm doing here, but you do on this activity. You put a 1 everywhere so that you know that the computer knows to draw a 1 N2. It looks like this. And 1 H2, it looks like that. And 1 NH3. And now you look and see what's uneven. So if you look, the ends are blue. On this side there are 2 ends, and on this side there's only 1. So if you put a 2 in front, then that creates 2 ends. When you're balancing, you can only change coefficients. Coefficients are the numbers in front. So if you change this coefficient from a 1 to a 2, that doubles everything that's here. It's kind of like in math, if you had a 2xy, it'd be 2 x's and 2 y's. Here you got it 2 NH3, so it's 2 n's and 6 h's. And you can see the 6 h's here, the white ones. So on this side, there are only 2 h's. So you need to make 6 h's, and then that causes the equation to be balanced because now I have 2 n's, 6 whites, 6 h's, and 6 h's. Another example, put a 1 here, put a 1 here, put a 1 here, put the 1's in first. So what's uneven here? Well, the whites are okay, but the reds are uneven. So the reds are oxygen. You can tell it's H2O, so there's 2 whites and a red. On this side, there are 2 reds. So I can't change this subscript. I can only change coefficients, so what I have to do is double this, and that creates 2 O's. When you put the 2 in front, though, that doubles the whole formula. So what you have to do then is adjust on this side, because there are 2 times 2 makes 4 H's, 1, 2, 3, 4. On this side there are 2, so I'll put a 2 in front, and that makes 4 H's here, and everybody's happy. One more of these examples, put a 1 in. So what's uneven here? Well, it looks like we got these O's. The red ones are uneven. The gray is all right. We got 1C, we got 1C, but we've got O's that are uneven. So in this case, if you got 1C, you probably don't want to change this because that's 1C, so you'd avoid changing that if you could. So I'd probably go here and double this, which would create 2 O's on this side, because 2 times 1 is 2, plus these 2. That makes 4. So I have 4 reds on the right side. On the left side, there's only 2 reds. What could I multiply by to get it to be 4 reds? So if I raise it to a 2, we have 4 reds and everybody's happy. All right, so that was your example. Now let's go and play the game. So I'll just start with level 2. All right, so you'll start here. Level 3 is tough. Level E is not too hard. So we would do an F2. Let's see, we got, on this side, we've got 2 and 1. We got 3 Fs, the yellow ones. What else is uneven? We've got 2 H's, and we got 1 H. So a general tip is things that show up twice, leave those till last. See how F shows up in this formula and in this formula, so don't do it first. Do the things that show up once first. So that might be the H's or the O's. And the O's are already even, so let's deal with the H's. Looks like we got 2 H's here, so I need to put a 2 there. If I did that, that creates 2 F's here and 2 F's here, which is 4 F's. So I'll put a 2 there, and that's 4 F's. And I think we have everything done. We've got 2 H's, 2 H's, 1 O, and 1 O. All right, so if you get that right, you get 2 points. If you miss it, you get another try, you get 1 point. I'll show you what that looks like. So we'll put a 1 everywhere here. Always put a 1 in first. What's uneven? Looks like it's the O's, but the O's show up in 2 different places. The H's are uneven, and they only show up here, once on that side and once on this side. So I'm going to make the H's, deal with them first. So I have 4 H's on the right side, 4 H's on the right side. On this side, I've got 4 H's, so that's good. I've got 2 O's here. On this side, I've got 2 O's here, see the 2 right there, but I also have 2 O's here, so that's 4. So if I put a 2 here, it makes 4 O's. Get 2 C's. Uh-oh. That's going to be a problem because I have 2 C's. I only have 1 C. So I broke my rule about O's there. Should have left it till later. So we'll do the C's. Now we have how many O's? 2 times 2 is 4. See right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 5, 6. Put a 3 there. And now I think we're good. Let's check. We've got 4 H's, 4 white ones, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 white ones, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 O's here, 4 O's there, makes 6. 3 times 2 is 6. So we should be good. All right, so now I'm going to show you what happens when you miss it. If you miss it like this, it says not balanced, try again. And so if I make that a 2, not balanced, okay, so not balanced, then you have to show your answer. Looks like that. Then you go to the next one. And we'll get this one right, so we got, so I can see what happens. All right, so we've got what's uneven. The greens are okay right now. The C's are okay right now. The H's, we've got 1 here and 5 here makes 6. I got 6 over here, so I think that one's okay the way it stands. Didn't have to do anything on that one. Okay, this one, put a 1 in, put a 1 in, put a 1 in, put a 1 in. All right, so we do that, and we can see what's uneven are the reds. So I put a 2 there, creates 4 H's. And we got 2 O's, got 1 S. So let's suppose we thought that was right. We'll check it, not try it, we'll try again. Maybe I needed to put a 2 here, we'll check that, and that's right. Now see how you got a plus 1 this time? And that gives you a score. Then you hit continue. This is the screen that you need to turn in. So if you wanted, suppose you got bogged down today and didn't get all 3 of them done. Take a screenshot of what you have done and then send in another screenshot when you get the next part done. So once again, these are the screenshots right here that you've got to turn in. That. All right, so I'm hoping that you can do this. Again, all you have to do is go to the link, be right here. Click here. You don't need to turn in the introduction. That was just me showing you how to do it. Then you click on the game. Start with level 1. It's simpler. After you get it finished, go to level 2, and then level 3. So that's your work. That should be done first today. And after that's done, work on missing work. I think almost everybody has something missing.